right, welcome everybody to, what are we talking? August 14th, little live stream.
Yep, we started with, we got a new art, let's spoil the new art. And as usual, over the course of the week, we ended up with like a 6-slide stream of new stuff to share.
Yeah, so brief overview. I want to do like a rundown kind of just of what we're going to be talking about today.
We're going to talk about Greenville ComicCon happened yesterday, so we're going to talk about that. With the Greenville ComicCon comes some updates to our in-person trade show booth display.
Yeah, and that's really like that's a two-topic thing. Like what happened at Greenville versus what we're looking at going forward is realistically going to be like a two-part thing. But yeah.
And then I'm trying to go in order. There's the new art I think is next.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have I don't want to spoil what it is, but we have a new feature for the game that we want to show
we want to talk about. I'm going to crack open a cold one real quick,
and
guys.
then just announcing when our next stream is going to be, because we already know when that is.
Yep.
So let's get started.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I'm going to click to the first slide. Here are some shots.
Yep, there are very few shots. If you're interested, I shared a ton on social media. They were all in the stories, though. Maybe they've expired by now.
I have no idea how any of that works.
But, so this is our booth from Greenville ComicCon. It's very similar to our booth from MomoCon, except that all 3 demos were on one table because they gave us this huge 8-foot table, which was awesome. We only ended up really running 2 at a time, though. That middle spot ended up being for people had their kids and their kids wanted somewhere to sit, or we could teach 4 people at once if we sat in the middle and looked left and right. So it's kind of like a versatile spot.
We were stretched a little bit thin yesterday. It was pretty much just Cathy and I really working the different event hook points.
And then Sean was
there. He was trying his best to spin the wheel. Telling a lot of the customers about the big things that we've done and are doing. We had a great weekend at Gen Con last week, for instance.
Yeah, Sean was saying that. We're hey Sean, pull him aside. You're being a great hype man. Thank you so much. But we were not at Gen Con. And he's like, I don't know.
No shot. Sean spun better than me.
No. So far, no one can beat Griffin. Hey, you want a sticker?
Your Thursday, Friday, and Sunday spin performance was pretty much untouchable. But no, we had Sean there, and then another one of the patrons, Bailey, who actually lives close-ish to us right now. He came up and he was hanging out, and he helped me out a little bit with some of the demos, where I was just getting 101 questions from 101 directions. He kind of picked up the slack for us a little bit, and jumped in and just having that one extra body/mouth there to just kind of fill in some of the blanks was...
Jake says just wait until I'm pulling the 8-foot cosplay.
Yeah.
Get a megaphone.
Sick.
What we did learn in terms of man hours is at PAX, we're going to need at least... We'll probably need... If we could have 4 people who know how to teach it, that way one person can be on a break.
Yeah.
But we always had... In Greenville, North Carolina, there was
Greenville,
a line
North Carolina,
of people waiting to learn.
Was $7 to get in at the door, and these people were literally coming by
yes.
I wanted to get a demo, but all your seats are full, and then
Greenville, in the middle of nowhere, there was a line of people waiting to play, and I'm like, that's awesome, y'all, but we have 2 people working the whole booth. And then the other vendors were coming up to us what are you selling? Why is your booth so popular?
Obviously, another shout out to Drama Jock. The wheel is
We're all gonna get mad.
The wheel is just unbeatable.
We're all gonna say that's his idea.
Regardless of whose idea it was, Drama Jock. The amount of attention that we got compared to most of the booths around us was through the roof. People just see the wheel and they want to at least take a glance.
There was one family that literally was kind of standing in the back, and I was like, "Can I help you with something?" They're like, "Oh, we just want to know what the wheel was for."
Yeah. and the cool thing is it hits the range, right? Because there are a lot of times where I'll see a family with 4-year-old kids go by, and I'll just be like, "Hey, guys, come on, spin the wheel, get a free sticker. It's fun. Let's see what faction you guys are." And the stickers literally cost us a penny or something, right? They're super cheap because we just got a massive bulk order of them. So to me, it's okay, get one more person involved, get the traction at the booth in general, make it look that much more active. And we had one at MomoCon where it was a younger girl. She was maybe 10 or 12. And she spun, got her sticker, and then she went to her Instagram and tagged this giant picture of look at everything I got at the convention today, guys. And she, like, tagged every
and she tagged her Flawed sticker.
Or group that did something with her. And she literally was at the booth for, 2 minutes spinning the wheel and talking with us real quick. And that was just one more, like, interaction, one more thing that, like, made part of her con better. And then, like, it's just so cool to get everybody, like, involved,
So, Drama Jock, to give you some history, you gave us the idea first when we were down there with you at Universal. And then when we came back, we were like, hey, Augusta clan, we got some great ideas for MomoCon. And then Raul was like, oh, I got a great idea too. What if we spun a wheel? And we were like, actually, that was one of the things you were going to suggest. And it became this, like, who came up with it first? But we heard it from Drama Jock first. Even though Raul had the idea on his own.
Raul was sandbagging. Raul had been waiting for weeks to tell us.
You got to share it to get the credit. He wasn't going to. Sounds like me. I agree. But yeah, overall, it was great. Now, this was the first event that we had the 2022 event exclusive card, which was the Daytime Hall of Shadows. I should have put that up here.
Yeah.
Can you, like, open it and slide it over?
Let me see if I can pull one up.
And, well, there's the art of it.
I think I have the card in here somewhere.
Okay. But yeah, the event exclusive card, it was the first time that we had that for sale. And, it was fantastically received, especially when people saw the nighttime version and we could tell them a little bit of the lore behind the Dark Faction. They were like, oh, that's so sweet. I got to get the light side of the card. And I did pull out my phone and show a couple people the Patreon exclusive promo that has both in one. And everyone was like, are you telling me it's too late to get that? I really want that one. I'm like, sorry, man, you got to join me for the next one.
Yeah, so for reference, this is the promo that we started putting out yesterday. Bunch of people were super hyped about it. Like, pretty much, it's a very similar scenario. If they sit down and sample the game, they're hooked. If they happen by and they're just, like, seeing the fun, like, seeing what's going on, and they listen to the pitch and they see card construction in general, you still have a massive saturation of people who are just like, you know what, let me get one of those cards. That's going to be a cool thing. We sold
a couple to people who didn't even play.
Yeah.
They just wanted it. And then Ken was offering to sign them. And the first person around, the convention opened at 10. It must have been like 10:15.
Yeah.
And when the first person bought one and asked him to sign it, and we made a comment about, like, oh, this is the first Hall of Shadows that you're signing. And the guy was like, oh, can you put number 1? Can you put number 1? His wife's like, yeah, put number 1. Like, you sure you want me to put that? And he was like, yeah. So Ken put number 1.
Just put a little number 1 next to my signature.
Signed Ken Tomer, and he was so happy.
So
he was like, I got the first one.
And that is far from the most excitement that people had at our booth. Like, we had this group of, like, 5, like,
oh my gosh, those kids
/ high schoolers, like 8th and 9th graders, just losing their mind. Like, the Abyss is my favorite card. No, the Abyss can't do anything against Life Cycle Warden. Just, like, going in. Like,
yep. And the one kid was like, when does this game launch? December? Man, I can't wait for December.
Yeah, they were so into it, and like I said, we had demos running all day. The booth stayed full. Financial side, like, it wasn't a very expensive event to get to, but like we did well. Like, we made enough sales to really, like, make it worth our time and get all that promotion, get all those people involved.
And ultimately, it's just to spread the word so that we enough people are interested by the time the game launches.
Yeah.
We did get 2 new patrons who joined the Discord. I think everybody did their little high wave.
Yes, 2 new patrons. Did you have more room than at MomoCon? So the reason it looks more spacious, I think, is because
we were truly on
there aren't walls. First. Like, there's no curtain behind the grid wall compared to, like, what it was at MomoCon. But it's almost the exact same setup. Rather than a 6-foot table and 2 4-foots, it was an 8-foot and 1 4-foot. So,
and the other thing is the banner is up higher.
Yes, we also, I don't know if you guys, if you can tell in that picture, like, on the right side, next to the prize wheel, like between the prize wheel and the price list, that grid wall is the full 6 feet tall. But then when you come around, obviously the banner's up higher. We kind of, like, shifted a piece up, like, 2 feet so that it was double thick on those ends, and then strung the banner up so it would be a little bit easier to see.
Whose idea was that? Yours or Sean?
Mine.
Yeah. The other thing is we were truly on the end of that row, so it wasn't like we were at one of those, like,
we weren't at a hallway.
Alleyways. Yeah. We were actually on the end, so, like, if people moved their chairs out or we pushed that table out a little bit, we weren't going into someone else's space.
That's a good point, Jake. Like, we really were trying our hardest. This is our first time setting all this stuff up.
If we weren't so panicked. I knew that, too, going into MomoCon. I was like, there are going to be hiccups at this first setup. That we're going to... And, like, when we set up this one, it went, so much quicker. We kind of knew everything went.
Yeah, we crushed this. Yeah, absolutely.
So...
Should have done drills. I said that. I said we should push all the tables aside at Cardboard Castle and, like, do a dry run to, like, see what hiccups there are going to be, and nobody was on board.
PAX, honestly, because PAX is going to be different.
Yeah.
Segue.
On
to the next topic, I guess, since I brought up PAX booth.
Oh, PAX booth.
So, looking at this booth, Ken and I have been talking, and we're like, it's good, it's great, it's awesome, it's wonderful. However, when the game officially launches and our Kickstarter is live, and we're at a convention that is designed for tabletop games, and there are awards given out for indie tabletop games, I was like, we need our booth to be better than what it currently is. We need something. And so I've been like looking online at different big name trading card games, like when Keyforge had their big launch. They had a launch at PAX Unplugged as well. And so I've been looking at all these other games and like, what did their booths look like? Now, we're never going to have a budget as big as Keyforge.
Right.
They had like a 40 by 40 foot space, whatever. Right. But I noticed that they had, rather than like banners, they had actual backdrops that took up the whole size of the wall with like huge art on it. So I've created, if you want to... I'm gonna answer Jake's question before we click over. He's asking, Jake just asked, is it possible to get 2 booths worth of space? It is possible. It's something that companies and people do. But we've already put our application in for 1 booth. And right now, the trajectory that we're looking at, it wouldn't really be like fiscally reasonable for us to afford 2. Yeah. They're quite expensive. And the other thing is, so we're doing what we can on that. Yeah. And the other thing is at PAX they have a vendor space and a play space, and they're in different rooms. Yes. So we don't really need a bigger booth because the booth and the vendor space, they don't allow playing at the sales booth because they want the vendor area to have like good traffic flow. They don't want people sitting around playing games in there. So we also had to put in for a space at the demonstration room, which isn't booths; they're just tables. Right. But it just wouldn't be a good use of money to get a big booth. At realistically, we don't have that much for sale. The booth is just for sales at PAX. It's going to be for signing people up for the Kickstarter, getting them over to the demo area. But it's basically the vendor room is on one end of the. You remember, Jake, what it was like at MomoCon? Like the vendor area was like all the way at one end of the convention, and then the play space is all the way kind of at the other end, more or less. We're going to have a post at each. We actually applied for like the small business package, which was a 10 by 10 booth for selling items, and then a like 8-foot table designated for our game inside of specifically the demo section of the play space. So it's a very specific, like, if you want to demo the game, go to table 800 or whatever, and bam, there it is. Yes, so, it is huge, but it also means we need dedicated, like, at least 2, if not 3 people to teach the game. Right. I think that if someone brings over them and their friend, we sit them down and, like, we don't play. Yeah. But, like, we need people over there. As you can see in the picture here, Cathy and I being so stretched thin, we actually kind of tried to do that. We were like, these 2 guys right here were both playing their first game ever. They don't know what they're doing. Cathy taught them both the rules at the same time and, like, cut them loose, like let them do what they were doing, basically. Yeah. If you look really closely, you can see the exhausted underwater spearman and the dead ruffian in the dead zone there. So, rip. But, so yeah, going back to this banner, if you look at the picture that's on the screen right now, where the banner currently is, we're thinking we would replace with a backdrop and then shift the banner to the right side of the booth. And so let's show you. Here is an idea that we're having. So this is what we came up with for a 10, I think it's a 10 foot by 10 foot, or it's a 10 foot across and 8 feet down. This looks 10 by 10. Is that a square? I can't tell. That doesn't look like a square to me. It looks like a rectangle. It must be 10 across and 8 down. Yeah, 8 down, 10 across. But anyway, so this is the first kind of like mock-up I made. Other games that I was looking at, I mean, pretty much every trading card game that I researched. I looked up like 6 or 7 different trading card games and what their display was at a convention, and they all just had one massive piece of artwork and their logo, and that was it. And I'm like, awesome, that's recognizable if it's a game that's established, but like nobody's gonna know who we are. But at the same time, I do, if that's the industry standard and if that's what works, like I want to learn from the best and like kind of mimic what they're doing. Yeah. You obviously don't want to stray too far from like what has become the norm. So let's get some feedback. In my opinion, you probably don't want to stray too far. But yeah, what do you guys think of this? Like, if this were the back wall, if this were literally 10 feet across and took up the entire back wall, like, again, most of these tables won't be positioned like they are right here. We would just have tables kind of in the front of the booth, and we'd be kind of isolated, and then that back wall would be pretty much as much as possible uncovered so that people can see it, How do you transport that? Yeah, it comes with its own stand, and it doesn't go on grid wall. The stand is like telescoping poles, so the actual stand for it it fits in like a thing you can sling on your back. It's actually really
so
small.
It doesn't fold. Does the banner?
Yes, the banner.
Okay.
It either folds or it rolls.
If it rolls, it's 8 feet tall.
It's made out of vinyl.
Okay.
I guess you could roll it and then just like. I would agree on the big photo. The giant back wall is purely to be eye-catching. Yes, this is something I've been saying, is that like the purpose of the backdrop is just to get you to walk over. It's not necessarily to sell anything. It's just for you to say, oh, it's this, and like walk over. It does the same thing that the wheel does, but it's not interactive. I get the information on the product once I approach the booth. Are you talking about like taking the cards off? Because that's something we were talking about.
Yeah.
It was like, do we really need the cards on there, or should we just extend the artwork down? Because the clear overlay is so unique to our game and like really what sets it apart, I want to like include that clear card on top of a cardboard card as much as possible. But I'm also worried if we take those 4 other cards off and just slide the Dying Breath and Infused Air Essence to the middle, people are going to be like, what's that? I don't get it. But then they can come over and they can ask.
I've got very mixed feelings about this. I think that this is like, I think it's either too much nonsense, like too much information about the game, or it's not enough information about the game. I think this is in the middle ground somewhere where it's like it doesn't do the like minimalist catch your eye, like smash you in the mouth like artwork grab as well as it could, and it also is just like it's a carrot. It's a dangling carrot of like what's going on. It doesn't actually give you information, it just gives you questions, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but
I mean, if the goal is just for people to come walk over, PAX Unplugged is going to be a wealth of trading card games, board games, and war tabletop games. At least, I mean, it says trading card game right there.
Right.
But you can also visibly see
it's not what it's
a
called.
stack of cards. I think it should be called a trading card game. The characters catch my eye.
We already have the website. Flawed Card Game. Sorry.
The website, I think, says trading card game.
It doesn't. The website is flawedcardgame.com.
Oh, the actual URL. Yeah. The characters catch my eye as I'm walking by. Then I see the clear cards, which prompts me to come over and say, hey, what's that? Yeah. I mean, I was talking about dropping the 4 cards, the fan of 4, and then just bringing the artwork down a little bit more, and then shifting Dying Breath and the Essence just to the middle.
I think that like the entire gray bar on the bottom is just like kind of wasted space. Yeah. And I think that the cards aren't doing what you want them to be.
The one you use for Ursula. Oh, she's thinking of Drown.
Yeah.
She's thinking replace that with the
3-step verification thing, basically.
Which is something you had brought up too.
Yeah, I've always thought that that's kind of the best way to demonstrate it, because that's part of what I'm getting at here. We've got all these cards, but there's no context. It's just like, look, behold, we made cards. Like, there's not really a lot of ways to like figure out exactly what's going on there, based on the imagery that's like at play. But I think that the art should probably go to the ground, basically.
Yeah.
I also think, and this is something we just talked about today, I don't know that it needs to be Knife Expert over there. I think it maybe should be...
I love Knife Expert!
I think it maybe should be, if I could be so bold, pull up a quick...
Yeah.
Assist.
We've been using Ursula. It was the first
Oh, wait, is she not in here?
I don't know. Ursula was the first artwork that we like officially spoiled to the public, and originally we were using it just because it's the only one we had, but now because we've been using it since the beginning, Ursula very much has become almost like a logo for the game, so when you see it, you recognize it, and you're like, oh, that's Flawed. Whereas, like, if you see the other arts, you don't instantly associate it with the game the way you do Ursula. So I was like, are we overusing Ursula? Yes and no. Like, we are overusing it, but, like, intentionally.
Yeah.
And that's also why I decided to throw another character up there. That way...
So I was going to pull up another image just to do the like, boof, like, here it is value.
You don't have it?
I don't.
Crazy.
I have it in my email. I don't think I have it saved locally yet.
So we were talking about doing Ursula and
Eternal Flame
Soldier, since they're both by Robert Nix.
And you get this like sort of back, and they're both in such a like similar-ish position where it's like that charging forward, like really aggressive artwork, like big and boisterous colors. Like you can really, I think that as like if you just got rid of all the cards off the bottom, put the giant art on there, and then had the logo. If you're looking for just like eye-catching, that's it. Like that's the way that you get people to be like, holy crap, like look at that art.
Jake said Earth's Elite Real 3D is so overpowered.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah. I can make it up with Eternal Flame Soldier. I think if I did Eternal Flame Soldier, I'd actually put Earth's Elite on the right.
Yep, absolutely. No, I agree. I think that would switch.
And then extend the art all the way down.
Yep.
And I already have Knife Expert on the little "What does your faction mean" sign, so I guess she's already being used.
Yeah.
But man, do I like her.
One of the other things we've been kicking around, and this has ultimately been just like a off-the-cuff idea that I think is a good idea. Have you guys, anybody who's a little bit more, what's Jake saying here? Remember at MomoCon there were a ton of backdrops and that just flex the art. Yeah.
Leave the answers and explanation for the table. Oh yeah.
That's true.
Here's another thing though, because Mary's like on board with Eternal Flame Soldier. We're not going to announce everything we're doing for PAX yet, but we have kind of curated this idea of having, in terms of product available, a like Earth deck themed stuff, and then Darkness deck themed stuff. And because the shrines for the 2 demo decks are Earth and Darkness, I kind of wanted the Earth and Darkness on the banner to like continue with that theme. Because whoever's going to be on the cover of the boxes, I kind of was like, let's put those on the cover, this too, just to continue continuity. Yeah. And it's, while there's obviously fire in the deck, it's not a fire shrine, so we've been referring to it as a dark deck.
No, that's true. Like I think that is exactly how.
Which is kind of why, would be a reason to not use Eternal Flame Soldier. Now we'll still use the Eternal Flame Soldier art on something else. It just wouldn't be here. See, Mary's like, I concede. No, I want.
Yeah, no, it is a valuable point. It's something that we've definitely been kicking around. It doesn't have to be Knife Expert. I mean, there are other dark cards. Obviously, it doesn't. And this is version 1 of something that we've only been talking about for a couple of days.
I would prefer if it was a female, so we could have 1 male and 1 female.
Right, representation.
Yeah. I'm just coming up with any reason to keep Knife Expert up there.
No, I know. What it is. I know. I'm aware of what's happening.
All right, we got a couple other people typing before we move to the next. Plus, her movement is so similar to Earth's Elite, it may not be as visually appealing side by side. I was kind of thinking that too, Flame Soldier and Earth's Elite. Like, that's kind of a lot. But I mean, look at her. Look at Knife Expert up there.
I think one thing that is to be said is that Robert Nix's art and Kayla's art do mesh well. I think that they both have like a similar-ish like way that they color.
It's like, I may be crazy, but Drama Jock's boyfriend, aka Tyler, plus a handful of hair gel. You got a ruffian cosplay. He's absolutely right.
I expect results on that.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of ways we can go with this, and we're gonna have to figure it out. Like, they're stylistically similar. Yeah, I agree, Cam. Like these 2 arts, like when you see them side by side, like
they almost could come from the same
you wouldn't necessarily like if I just walked up to somebody, even somebody who's like really good with art, and was like, "Hey, what do you think? Do these come from the same artist or not?" Like, I feel like it'd be tough to know for sure.
Which side note, we got that feedback a lot. Now that we have a lot more art to show people, there were so many people at Greenville that were like, I didn't get a chance to sit down and play the game, but the art looks awesome. Which is what I always wanted, because I remember so many people started playing Force of Will just because they liked the art.
Yeah, and a handful of people wouldn't play it at all because it was weeb crap. Crap.
I remember early Force of Will days when it was like the first 3 sets that came out.
Yeah.
That was a lot of the reasons.
Anime. Yeah, Cam, I agree with Underwater Spearman also. Like, if you slap Spearman next to, like, or either of these 2 artworks, you can clearly tell they're from 2 different camps. I mean, they're still close. They still have a lot of the same, inking and line work, and there's definitely, there are similarities, but there are enough differences that, you could tell the difference. You would know. You would definitely know.
So, I guess now we're talking about art. You guys want to see some new art?
Yeah, this is a really cool segues we've been having. This is This is
very flowing.
Very nice flowing green paint that we're all wearing.
Cam's like, we can end it here, obviously.
So new art, and Ruben was talking some smack, I think, on Facebook or somewhere, like, oh, it's a dark card. We already know it's a dark card because there's only dark cards left. Blah blah blah, whatever, running his mouth.
Everybody wants to forget there's still a fire card.
And you forget that there's 1 fire card left. It's a dark fire card titled Hatred.
Woo! Destroy target unit if it's light, water, or earth. This art brought to you by Daniel DeGraca, who is the same artist that did Ruffian. So this is only his 2nd piece for our game so far.
I just said it was dark. Yeah,
he wasn't wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is a very fair point. You are not wrong.
So, Mr. Ken, talk to us about, because I didn't really talk to Daniel when you guys were deciding what you wanted to look like.
So I didn't give him the most. The big prompts that I wanted to go for was I wanted it to look like there's a defeated, helpless-ish Earth Knight, losing his fight, and he's about to get just smacked down, and that is the destruction that hatred is causing. Like, one of my guys is just so angry and so just riddled with this detest for the opposing factions that he's just winding up and he's just taking them out. And he gave me a couple sketches, put a couple different things together, and he honestly ended up doing like a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I mean, this is obviously a massive war going on in this artwork. But I like that even though the backdrop has like all that layering to it, and you can see a couple characters, close up in the back and then deeper back, etc. The focus point is clearly this guy screaming, just just ready to two-hand smash. He's just taking this guy out. He's like, I'm ending this now. Like, as far as this one, target is concerned. And I think that's kind of the story of hatred. Like, that's kind of the reason the card does what it does. Really happy with how it came out. The colors are really, really vibrant in this one. Like that dark,
like an orange,
dark layering night, dusk sky or whatever that is in the background. Like really kind of it just pops. This it's basically Pillory all over again. Yeah, it's just another card. Like, when you see it on the table, you're gonna freaking know immediately what it is. It's like, oh, look at all that like orange and red, and then like the little green corner where the guy's just like getting beat down.
Yeah, I like how much continuity there is in this art to the other ones. Mm-hmm. Like, if we go back, take a look at Ursulite's, like his ponytail, his helmet, and his cape, and then you go over to this one, and it's basically the same thing.
It's basically like
even with the guy.
Not to say that Ursulite Real D3D isn't overpowered, but he's kind of very susceptible to hatred, and always will be. And
like even the green knights in the background have that same looking shaped helmet to it, and then the fire. What is that?
Hatred. Oh, you know what? Good point, Cam.
What do you say?
Sometimes your Ursulite is soulless.
Oh, yeah.
And cannot be affected by the card hatred.
Sometimes any card you have is soulless.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fire soldier in this artwork has that same, I don't know what that part of the armor is called, the like plate on the waist there that's got that same like fire detail. Do you have...
we have this one right here.
Oh yeah, there you go. So there's the Dying Breath.
On Dying Breath, it's like a similar thing. That was originally that was put on the armor by Isaiah the first time. He put that on Siegemaster. And then when I used Siegemaster as a reference point for Dying Breath, Fernando borrowed it and put it on this guy. And then once it was on 2, I'm just like, well, that's obviously part of the like standard fire soldier, outfit. Armor. So let's just keep going with it.
Did Fernando? Did he come with that on his own, or did you ask him to put that there? Because he did so much on his own.
He put it on his own. Yeah. I showed him Siegemaster and was like, here's like a commanding officer from the Fire Army. I want you to like use this as reference, but make the guy from Dying Breath like look, like a level down as far as status is concerned. Like don't
just take his shirt off.
Yeah, well,
no command.
That was so that we could stick all the arrows in him. You couldn't very well.
See that beautiful glowing chest. All right, this isn't the Dying Breath stream. We already had a time.
I know. Well, can't all streams be the Dying Breath stream?
I know, really. But yeah, so here's hatred. Love the continuity. I love the vibrant colors. I do like that, we don't have every single dark and fire card just being like massively purple or massively red. Right. And this one really is like a crossover in terms of like the color. There's lots of colors going on because it's a multicolor card.
I was just going to say, this is also featuring, again, the sort of the new template and with like the change to the boxes and everything. Mm-hmm. I really like the way that a lot of the multicolor like combinations came out. In particular, this one, like the red into the purple. Like, even though it's a very muted purple and there's like it doesn't pop, but it also like just makes good sense. Like just the way that it looks.
But that's part of the thing is that's why we changed the template, because we don't want it to pop, but we don't want it to blend into the backgrounds either. Yeah. We just want it to be clean and a box.
Yeah, Jake, I'm with you. Like the end of the battle, like burning red sky feel is like one of my favorite parts about this whole artwork.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame it's got it covered up by a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, but the art will always be on the art page on the website. So
with hatred finished, what are we still waiting on now?
I can pull up my list. Hopefully it's not on stream. Okay. So let's see. Hall of Shadows, everybody has seen. Done. Siege Master, done. Knife Expert, done. Pillory, done. Hatred, done. Dying Breath, done. Ruffian, done. Eternal Flame Soldier, done. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that are being worked on. Some of which might have just been submitted for final approval.
Yeah. We have 4 that are being worked on, but really it's only 1 that's being worked on.
Yeah.
There's the next 3 are already done.
There's gonna be like an art dump stream coming up here pretty soon, probably within the next week or 2.
But we are gonna have the second demo deck finished very soon.
Very soon.
Within the next week, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome because then we can get that art ordered and
full demo decks. Yeah, absolutely,
awesome.
Jake. We are making this big push to obviously get them ready. I don't know how much information, I forget, did we really give about our demo deck goals for packs?
We haven't told them at all yet, but I mean, I don't mind sharing it. I don't see why it's not moving forward.
Yeah.
Hey, Jet Scout! I just saw you show.
Oh, nice. Welcome. Better late than never, especially with the fresh art on the board.
Yeah.
Right?
So our hope and our goal at this point, we have our printer solidified. We have our distributor. We have our distributor basically solidified. So we've already got the numbers. They've told us how much it costs. They've told us what the turnaround time is, and they told us like how the process works in terms of we send them the files. They send us a proof in the mail. We say, "Yep, looks good." They already sent us a stack of product samples for us to choose from. So they sent us cards from like various games and was like, what do you think about this foiling? What do you think about this clear card versus the frosted clear card versus the glossy clear card?
How does this thickness feel? You know, all that.
So we've already like selected out the paper materials, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And we have the pricing. So we are hopefully going to move forward with ordering official, finished demo. I don't want to call them demo decks anymore.
They're still technically a demo material.
They're demo,
right? It is half a deck. It is meant to be a play experience, not like the game.
Yeah. What I mean is, it's not a demo material. I mean, like the material is the final material. So if you purchase the sample decks, those cards are it. You can take those out of your sample deck and shuffle them in with booster packs when the game officially launches. And so, like, if you buy the starter deck, you've already got your Griffin. You're done.
Yeah.
That can be yours. So it's going to be like the finalized card back, the finalized paper quality. It's going to be identical to the booster packs and all that. So, and we also are going to be selling them hopefully as a green deck and a purple deck. 2 separate decks. You can buy them each. You can buy one at a time.
Yeah. And
then we're also going to have like the Earth deck themed like sticker and artwork bundle and card, and then like the dark theme sticker and artwork bundle that you can get.
Yeah.
So that's what the PAX booth is very much going to be themed like Earth versus Dark.
Right. So yeah, the goal very now is realistically within the next few weeks to order those a mass production of just the demo materials.
We're talking like what, 300 to 500 copies of each.
It'll either be 250 or 500, I think is what we're settling in on, of each version.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would be like 500 versus 1,000 total decks.
Yeah.
And we would honestly hopefully have those decks in hand before PAX.
The goal is to have them before PAX because that's going to be obviously that's our launch weekend. That's when we're starting our Kickstarter. That's going to be the biggest weekend, the most hype. We're trying to get the most traction, and
so
yet again.
December's the official launch. The product will be available. Will be those demo decks because there's no way you'll have set 1 art done by then. Yes, so the demo decks are going to be the official product for people to buy while they're at the event. But if the rest of the set will be on Kickstarter December 2nd, and then that product fulfillment won't happen.
It'll be some months
later that you'll actually get the booster packs because we're using a lot of that Kickstarter money to finish the artwork.
Right. Part of the Kickstarter fund has to be to finish the artwork, Jake. If you think about the progress we've made over the last 8 months, right? Like Patreon really kicked off right at the end of last year. That was one of our main points of income. We've been doing some conventions and getting some help from the conventions, but realistically, Patreon has been the primary support. And in 8 months, we've got 20 some odd artworks finished, and we've got this demo product really tuned up and looking great. But if we stay at this pace, if we wanted to wait to get all of the art before we bothered to go to Kickstarter, it would be another 2 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Like
we have too much art.
There's so many. It's 160 unique images or something to do the card back, plus the keep cards, plus the shrines, plus So in order to get that done in a more timely fashion, you basically, and this is a very common method, is that you fund as much as you can to get a working entity, essentially, which is our demo deck. You use that to convince people that the game is a good idea, which we have had no problem doing.
No,
Anybody who sits down and plays is just like, holy crap,
honestly,
this is awesome.
the only problem we've had is when people find out it's not available yet.
Yeah.
They're like,
all day in Greenville. Little old Greenville ComicCon. We probably had... We could have probably sold 20 or 30 decks.
The convention wasn't open, and someone walked over and asked if we had a deck for sale.
Yes.
I was like, it's not even open yet, bro. And honestly, that is one of the hardest things about being an indie game, is telling everybody, like, thanks for your enthusiasm, hurry up and wait, because we don't actually have anything yet.
We're working on it.
So I'm very excited to actually be able to say, here's a deck, you and your friend can each go start playing. It's the official product, so go ahead. It's going to be turn it legal. Shuffle it in with your booster packs, and while you're here, please sign up for the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
And
that's the goal. We want to have those decks in hand for PAX, because PAX is, number one, it's about tabletop gaming. Number two, it's massive. It's going to have you're going to have people in the quantities similar to MomoCon. It's going to be a lot of folks there. And number three, it's our official start. Like, this is we're here now. We've got something that we can sell you right now. We'd really like you to consider investing in the future and picking up getting in on the Kickstarter and getting some more.
Jake, you're just forgetting that some gamers aren't good at math. It's like, no, there's thousands. So anyway, we're talking about creating this official product, and part of the process isn't just finishing the art, it's narrowing down what's the template going to look like, it's narrowing down what's the back of the card going to look like, and something that we haven't addressed yet
another segue!
Is what's the set symbol going to be? Because we can't put our game out with a bunch of D's in the corner as the set symbol.
I personally didn't hate the big capital golden D on the bottom of...
for demo.
Yeah, for demo.
Yes, because our YouTube stream is rated G.
Oh, right. D for demo. Yeah, that's what it was.
So,
my bad.
Our next slide here is what we think might be the set symbol for set 1. Boom. Here we go. Now, we have already decided that the set symbol is going to be called A New Way, which is...
The set name.
Sorry, the set name. Set 1 is going to be called A New Way, which is a nod to, it's a new way to play trading card games, but it's also the name of Little Breeze.
It's the title of Little Breeze.
The epic in the air is Little Breeze, A New Way. So we had been talking forever about, what's the set symbol going to be for A New Way? And we're like, if it's based on an air card, maybe it should be some breeze or a feather or an arrow. And, we came up with so many things, and we've honestly been talking. We first started talking about it a couple months ago, and everything we came up with was kind of dumb.
Jake, I wish I could tell you what this is, but I don't know. I literally have been kept in the dark.
Ken doesn't know this. So, Ken doesn't know what this is from, and you'll find out why soon one day. But anyway, one of our artists was working on a piece and stuck this little thing in the background. And I messaged them on the side and was like, hey, that little symbol you snuck in the background, I don't know what that's for, or if you're going to keep it in the original, the finished art. And y'all haven't seen this art yet, so you don't know what I'm talking about.
Neither have I, don't worry.
But I was like, can you actually, give me that symbol as its own file, really big, so I can mess around with it? And they sent it to me, and you'll see. I adapted it a little bit, but...
Cam, that's a great question. Apparently she hasn't paid for it yet, and...
Nope.
I have been told about this artwork probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I knew it existed because...
What had happened was that we were trying to do another surprise for Ken, and it is still a surprise.
Right.
But we were almost done with the art, and he was about to hire somebody because it was the last piece we were missing, and I was like, listen, all I'm going to say is you don't need to worry about that art. This
is what you told me a month ago.
I
still haven't seen it.
I haven't told him how he's going to get it. I haven't told him when he's going to get it. I haven't told him who's done it. All he knows is which one it is.
She hasn't told me who this benefactor is, who is behind the curtains,
I haven't told him who the
strings.
gift is from. All he knows is which card it was so that he didn't accidentally pay someone to do it and buy it twice. So the artist snuck this in the background, and I was like, that would be a good set symbol.
So it's obviously from a dark card. We're basically to the point that we only have dark cards left.
Yeah.
So this symbol doesn't like really carry intrinsic meaning right now because I don't even know the context that it's used in the art. But it's a cool little symbol, like in isolation. Like it's something that looks.
It's the rebel symbol. See, when we shrunk it down tiny, I was like, it looks like that Star Wars symbol with the Jedi like starburst in it. Is that the rebel symbol that I was thinking of?
Yes.
Okay,
I thought you knew what you were talking about.
It gave me rebel symbol vibes too.
It is quite similar, Jake, but I don't know that that's like a reason not to use it.
It has similarities, but it's obviously not the same.
It's a sword, you know.
An immune.
Yeah.
And then I love how Jessica was like, you see what had happened, what?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was doing. It gives me Sailor Moon vibes. A little bit, yeah. A little bit. I don't think Sailor Moon really had swords, though. But it does have, because Sailor Moon does the upward moon, that's what it is. Their crescent is always facing that way. That's how, like, Luna's moon is on her forehead, the cat, and that's how the moon is on her, like,
Sailor
sector
Moon
thing.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But, like, what do you guys think? And also, Ken brought up maybe doing different colors instead of white, silver, gold, and purple, which the white, silver, gold, and purple was, like, a nod to, like, metals. You know, gold medal, silver medal, and then royalty is always like purple is like the color given to like royalty for the epics.
I think this is a usable spread. What I don't like is how the white just doesn't really do it for me. Oh, nice! A new way sounds similar to A New Hope. Yeah, we're just going
That's
in.
Fine. I'm honestly here for it.
I am too.
I love
Whatever.
Star Wars.
It's nerd stuff. Just go with it.
If it works, it works.
You're literally going to get sued.
We're not going to get sued.
We're not getting sued here. It's a Fargate.
Can we not post this on YouTube now?
Why?
I'm sorry, Disney. Don't sue me.
No, Disney can't do anything about that. So you could go with bronze. I agree with that, Cam, but I feel like the bronze ends up looking like mythic from like Magic, right? And then people get too confused, right?
I agree, because bronze has that like little red tone to
it.
I mean, I went with this because also this is what Magic does, so it's the most easily recognizable.
Well, Magic does it except for they've got like bronze at the top.
Yeah, they have bronze at the top. It's like a red instead of purple, but like, I don't know. I like purple for royalty.
Your mascot, Little Breeze, would be wearing Mickey ears.
So, I represent the new players. What are these? Oh!
Awesome!
Can we click back to the card?
Just...
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, because you're a mess.
Okay. In the bottom left corner, do you see the D that's like a little silver? When you buy a booster pack of the cardboard cards, they're randomized. And a box has, what, 24 packs?
That's what we're shooting for,
That's what we're shooting for. A box is 24 packs. So you can buy an entire box and get 24 packs, or you can, a lot of game stores, what they'll do is they'll open the box and sell the packs individually for like $3 a piece or something. When you open your booster pack...
You're not getting a pack for $3 on planet Earth in this economy?
I worked at a game store in like 2004. It's been a minute since I've looked at pack prices individually.
What are we, Yu-Gi-Oh? Nice.
But anyway, so when you open up the booster pack, what's the breakdown of a flawed pack?
It's not locked in stone yet.
But
the idea being, Mary, that like some of the cards are meant to be harder to acquire randomly.
It's a collectible.
It's a collectible thing. So when the cards are created, I'm kind of dictating like this card is a common card, meaning it's first off going to be a little bit less like flair on the card, like the things that it does should be a little bit more basic and fundamental in the game, introductory, so that a new player opens up a bunch of commons, the bulk of their booster pack will be commons, and those are the cards that are easiest for them to get into the game with. However, your packs will also pretty much always have at least a rare card, like a more difficult to acquire card, that will be a little bit flashier or whatever. The players that end up buying a lot of packs or becoming very invested in the game end up trying to collect them by saying, okay, you know, I've got this many of this rare. Those are the cards that you might trade. The uncommon cards might be good, and basically those rarities help dictate how often a card appears randomly distributed through the entire game's production.
Yeah.
So that as a player, if I open up my brand new pack and I'm like, oh, I've got this rare card, it's like really good. Some other guy doesn't just go say, oh, here's an Earthselite. This guy's also really good. And then I'll be like, but wait, Earthselite is just a common. Like, that guy's easy to find. He's in every other booster pack. So it helps. It just helps identify like where the cards fall within the overall distribution.
So like when you open one pack of Flawed, you'll get approximately like 5 commons. What was the number?
I think I wanted to go 6-3-1 is what we're shooting for. So 6
commons, 3 uncommons, and then one spot will be either a rare or an epic rare. So you're saying my fave Dying Breath is going to be purple Sailor Moon on their front. Actually, Dying Breath is a
Dying Breath's a common, I'm pretty sure. might be uncommon.
No, I think it's a common. It's on this slide if you just go back.
It's on this slide if I just go back?
Yeah.
Party. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common.
It's hard to tell.
So cards that are commons will have the white set symbol in the bottom corner.
Right, and those will be the most plentiful.
Yeah, and so when you open a pack, you'll get 6 random commons, and every pack you open will be 6 random commons, so the chances of you getting commons, multiple copies of the same thing is very high. Uncommons, you'll get, would you say 2?
3.
3 uncommons. So again, less likely that you'll open them. And then rare, each pack you open only has 1 rare, and then the set has how many rares in it?
30?
30?
I think it's 30, yeah.
So if you open, hypothetically, if you open 30 packs, at best you could get 1 of each rare. But to play the game and have a complete set, you need 3 of each rare. So that's kind of how the trading card game and you trade with your friends sort of thing.
It's a loot crate mentality. It's how you make people buy more of your product. It's absolutely
And then the epics would be 3 per box. So each box of 24 packs, 3 of those packs have an epic in it.
Yeah, exactly. So the epic being ultimately it's considered a super rare, much harder to find than even the rarest cards. And what happens is when you open a given pack, your rare will have been swapped out for one of those epic cards. And that's how you'll get Griffin or Everest or any of those characters.
And unlike the booster pack frozen stuffed animals that came in that pack that you got me for Christmas, where it was I can feel around in the pack and I can tell that this one has a braid, so this one's probably Elsa. There's no way in these packs that you're going to be able to tell which one's which. It's just that was a throwback to Mary. That's her booster pack, is opening up sealed
We've
Disney.
been down these roads before.
What was the one that she got on the ship she really wanted, Pluto?
Jake says, God, I don't make enough to fund my future collection. Oh, God.
Mary says, that's my booster pack. It is. It's just your booster pack only comes with 1 thing.
Yeah. They're more exciting when you open the pack and the front card's a common and you thumb through those couple of commons and then you see your first uncommon, you're oh, this is cool, I've never seen this guy before, and then you get to the back of the pack and you hit that sweet rare card with whatever guy it is that you're interested in.
So these are just the symbols on the bottom corner that will let a player know when they're looking at the card, is this a common, uncommon, rare, or
and this is one of the big questions I wanted to ask about this. So I think that the white, silver, gold, purple is fine. I think it does the job.
What is Ruben talking about?
Where the boat?
Since you
got an anchor.
It's not an anchor.
I see his point also.
It's not an anchor. It's a sword through a moon for the dark, because there's the knife expert and they're knife throwers and there's the moon for the. Never mind. It's not a boat.
If it were a knife or a dagger, I'd hear ya. But sure, it's very much a sword.
That?
Yeah.
That's not a dagger?
No.
How can you tell?
The moon's huge. They're mountains, Cathy.
Jesus. Yeah, with the moon. Well, it's definitely a 2-handed broadsword. That's for sure. Ken's favorite.
My question, the thing that I keep wanting to get back to, we keep getting sidetracked. Digital gaming.
Video games.
Hearthstone.
Oh, Hearthstone.
Fortnite, any action RPG you've ever played, rates its items on a rarity scale, right? Their rarity scale, and this has become quite ubiquitous as far as online gaming is concerned, where the lowest is green, the next is blue, the next is purple, and then the final is an orange, orangish reddish sort of epic level. So many games have done it before Fortnite. Hearthstone has had that rarity scale for over a decade. White is the lowest for many of those. They don't. I guess that's true. Mm-hmm. There is white also, but we don't need 5. We only need 4, so we can just skip white and bump up, right? Green is just the first actual usable ones, right? Sure, true. Nobody wants white items. They suck. What do you guys think of that? Is that a path to go down? I guess I see the argument for maybe wanting to continue to use white. So it'd be white, green, blue, purple. And then we could save red for the next highest rarity if we ever wanted to make
I think what I like about this color scheme is that it's recognizable to
specifically Magic players.
Not specifically Magic players, but it's recognizable to gamers.
Uh-huh.
But it's also recognizable to non-gamers in terms of the medallion system.
I slightly disagree. I think that the white really throws that logic off.
Well, we're not using bronze.
I think that honestly, the medal system, people will think that the gold ones are the most rare in a lot of cases. If you're saying that somebody's bringing the only like preloaded knowledge they have is that the Olympic has medals, they're gonna be like, what the heck is this purple? What the heck is this white? The gold cards are the best.
No medal is purple. It's a play on like back in the Roman times when purple fabric was like very hard to come by and only royalty wore it.
Sure.
So it's commonly used as a symbol of that.
I am going to convince Cathy to mock these up in the other 4 colors.
I will. It's so easy to do. I kind of like white as common too because it's boring. Like, there's nothing special about it.
My problem is that you've got this nice like gradient on here, and they look like they're kind of like.
Mary says diamond is more readily recognizable than purple. So what, make it like a light blue color?
Light blue wouldn't be crazy, but then it also gets into the mix of like, do people who are coming from more of a video game background put that in the middle somewhere, right?
I don't know if that works as well.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, we'll mess with it.
We're gonna mess with this. Any input you guys have, like put it in general chat. You know, throw me recommendations, thoughts, concerns, anything you're thinking about. I'm gonna have Cathy mock up like the other spread.
That's how I feel, Jake.
It is your system to do.
Ken can just do whatever he wants.
I don't hate that as an answer. Like I can do whatever I want, but like on the same token, I kind of want something that obviously makes sense. It's easy to translate, and like the most people can latch onto it, right?
I can see doing it either way, so
yeah,
I'll make them up and then whatever you like. Color blindness.
Common colorblind, colorblind to green might
be
enough
yeah, Mary. Can you ask Tyler what are the two? Or you might already know. So I know like green and red get confused.
Mm-hmm.
Green looks like brown.
Looks like brown. Okay. Well, we won't have a brown, so at least there's that.
Blue looks like purple. We just have to make sure that we don't use green and brown.
We'll have blue and purple, though.
Well, okay, so we can't do those.
It's not that.
I think green-red color blindness is, but like, what does the red look like?
JR is the most common, yeah.
Meaning you don't see green or you don't see red. So we couldn't use brown and we couldn't use... Mary, what's red look like? Red is good. Well, but if you're red colorblind, what does it look like? It doesn't work that way? I don't understand.
All right, Doc.
I don't know how colorblindness works. We need to get Tyler on the stream.
Send you back to your ophthalmology rotation.
Whatever we do come up with, though, we could say, like, hey, Tyler, look at this. Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, that'd be worthwhile.
Pink looks gray.
Okay. Rip.
Yellow, green, and brown kind of all look the same.
Okay.
So, like, if we used this at all, we couldn't use green and brown as other colors.
Right. Okay. I mean, stuff worth considering. I would definitely like to avoid confusion for color blindness, but also, like, I'm sure there are enough layers of color blindness that it's like somebody's going to get left out. Like, we need 4 colors. Like, are there really like 4 colors that we can?
I think as long as we avoid green, red, since they're the most common.
Test run somebody, Andy. Yeah, that's good.
We also have Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler would say he can see the difference.
We'll do some other mock-ups and kick this around a little bit, workshop it. I mean, this doesn't need to be decided immediately, but it does need to be decided before we can order those decks. We need to have this locked in within the next couple of weeks, probably. But yeah,
we got one more slide.
This is the last kind of like major thing. The last slide, which you got any sweet segue for this?
Speaking of art, I don't know.
Speaking of color, no.
Speaking of that, Ken hasn't seen all the artworks yet. You guys also haven't seen all the artworks. And you will see a new one. That wasn't as good of a segue.
No, the first 4 were spot on.
So we got our new time for Miss Kayla Rainey, our wonderful artist. We had to reschedule just because she had a family emergency. So this Thursday, August 18th at 7 p.m. Would love to have, the turnout tonight was great. I know that Thursdays being in the middle of the week sometimes are not the best for people showing up to live streams, but her work schedule is weird. She actually works on the weekends more than she does during the week. So she was available Thursday.
She pretty much only keeps like locked in office hours during the week. Otherwise, she's pretty much out of it. Like,
I guess she's got something where she's like teaching art classes on like Sunday and Saturday night, which is pretty cool. So she is the artist who did Griffin the Fourth and Knife Expert, and she's going to talk about, and she also did the essences,
she did the essences and the back of the card, yep.
We're going to show her our new essence layout and what we did with her art, maybe, see what she thinks.
Hopefully she's not too upset that we cut it in half, but we'll see.
And then she'll like talk about like her process and like how she got inspired for the different artworks, how she kept Knife Expert a secret for so long.
She better not tell me that too soon. I'm going to figure out the way to find that other
art. And then she's got a new art that I have already seen. And listen, every time we show a new art, I say this. But this one is my favorite one so far.
What a mess.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I know y'all haven't seen it. But the art we're spoiling on Thursday, I love. I think it fits. It's so flawed. I'm just like, yes, I'm here for it. Let's do it. I want to open 5.
It's good. I also like it. Cathy obviously is like a little puppy dog. Just the next time a new thing shows up, she's like
every time a new one comes out, I'm like, I want that one.
Like yeah.
But this one, I really like this.
Jake said he doesn't make enough money to support his collection. Like Cathy's doctor salary is still not going to be able to get her enough cards.
Ken asked me like, how many booster boxes are you going to buy? Like me personally, and I'm like, I don't know, because I was like, I have to get them all. There's no option. So, I don't know how many to buy. A ton.
Apparently, I created the game, and all of my profits are just going to go back into buying the game for Cathy's personal collection.
Right. Jet Scout, this is what I'm saying. I've said that to AJ 1,000 times. Just stream it on the TVs at the card shop. But they get really busy.
They do. Yeah, it's understandable.
You shouldn't need like 3. Yeah, but I still have to open 3. Like, how am I going to get... Well, I guess at the Epics, you only need 1 of each. But still.
Not if you want to build 2 black decks.
Well, you don't need to hear it. Just put it up, and then you can see the art, and you can type in the chat and be like, it's amazing, I love it, it's wonderful, hire Kayla again. I need to open a case, it's fine. Exactly.
I honestly feel like Case is very much not a crazy level to, like, jump in at. Like,
so we got, no, I'll probably get a case too, and then I might honestly get 2 Essence kits for myself.
AJ was saying he might want like 4 Essence kits or something.
Well, you gotta be able to build multiple decks, and some of those Essences are like...
They're like gold.
Like soulful.
Could you imagine Essence of Might on like, how stretched thin are you on Essence of Might?
So yeah, new stream with new art on Thursday. We are gonna have more art tonight. Probably.
I think my phone buzzed about 15 minutes ago with a finished artwork.
Yeah, so we'll just
say that.
We're gonna have this coming Thursday, and then probably not 3 days later Sunday, but probably like the Sunday after that, like a week and 3 days later. Unless you really want to do that in stream.
I might, depending. So once we get this last art, I might want to do like a short-ish notice stream to get them all out, so that we can push forward with the production and stuff. Yeah. Like, obviously, there's like a bunch of back end like work and stuff that we have to do. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but
exciting things.
Big things are brewing.
So I think now we'll probably cut the stream off and go back up into the general chat if anyone wants to, voice
some final questions, thoughts, concerns.
But we'll end the YouTube recording.
Yeah, as always, I just want to say thank you again. Awesome turnout tonight. Awesome.
We gotta do our sign out, our YouTube sign out music.
I don't know what she's doing right now, guys, but Kevin's oh nice, good, lucky you.
What did he
get
say?
Some dinner.
Kevin's dinner's ready.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Mary.
But thank you again for everybody that's in here tonight to actually just being part of the stream. But thank you also to all the other Patreon subscribers who we already mentioned it earlier. Like the amount of work that we've done, the fact that we're about to have an actual product on the shelves.
It's 100%
because of Patreon. It's such a critical connection that will realistically never be forgotten. So we really can't thank you guys enough. Awesome stream tonight, really good stuff, really good feedback in the chat and everything.
Yeah, thank you so much for the feedback.
Appreciate that, and we will talk to you guys next Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, 4 days from now. Yeah.
At 7.
All right.
Bye.